Hello everyone and welcome to a special edition of VAFA TV. We're doing a finals preview this week. I'm joined by Braden Carey from our Football Operations Department. Braden, welcome to the VAFA TV, your first appearance for the year.
Thanks Andrew, yes, very looking forward to this special event.
Well, it's a TV show. I'm not too sure it's an event in many people's minds, but I'm sure if you're enjoying it as an event, well done. We're going to have a look at all of the finals matches in the senior sections this weekend, commencing with Premier B. We'll get onto that in just a moment, but before we do, as we always do, we wouldn't want to leave you waiting and hanging out for the marks and goals of the week. Here they are. Mark A, Tom Pemberthy, Collegians. Mark B, Fergus Watts, Uni Blues. Mark C, Tom Cants, Old Camberwell. Mark D, Chris Larkins, Old Zavarians.
As through Kennedy, got it to Sapapo, got the kick up to Larkins, almost took a great mark. He might have been paid. He's been paid the mark. And the girls say yes please, yes the same ones that cry out.
Mark E, Tom Napier, Uni Blacks.
Right, got it to Jason Johnson. Johnson chipped it up high. Good mark. Yes. A great mark on that occasion by Napier. David Speedy said that he couldn't tell it.
Mark F, Jared Gleeson, St Kevin's. Vote for your favourite mark at VAFA TV.com. The 2xU Goal of the Week. The winner of the 2xU Goal of the Week will receive a men's compression short. Goal A, Jack Davis, Old Scotch. Goal B, David Wildsmith, Old Trinity. Goal C, Esmond Prowse, Old Zavarians.
I like Blues' chances. He's got a lot of pace to burn. How fast are the running Prowse? Prowse from 35 metres kicks a beautiful goal. Fantastic goal from Old Zavarians.
Goal D, Will Merton, Beau Morris. Goal E, Dermot Cleary, Oakley. Vote for your favourite goal at VAFATV.com. Some great marks and goals there, and you can remember to vote for those at VAFATV.com under Mark and Goal of the Week. Braden, time to have a look at the first semi-finals for this week. The second semi in Premier B is Old Trinity and Ill Brighton, which is on Saturday here at Sports Cover Arena, where we're looking out upon at the moment. Beautiful shape the ground's looking in at the moment. But these two sides have won one each when they've come up against each other early in the year. Which way do you see it going when you're looking at the key numbers?
Well, looking at Ill Brighton and their very attacking style of football, one would predict that it probably won't be a very close game, as Ill Brighton have tended to, with their losing margins, really get blown away when they lose. But when they win, they also blow the opposition away. So, Ill Brighton being the number one defensive team in the competition, it'll be interesting to see. Old Trinity rather, it'd be interesting to see how well they can hold the Ill Brighton. I suppose it comes down to your star players and your star goal kickers. Ill Brighton with 4 players who have kicked 30 plus goals, it really shows when those players get on top, they really drive it home and kick big bags.
Yeah, and the two guys with 50 just missed out on the leading goal kicker, David Fayman. Congratulations to him from Ajax, pinching that on the last day. Anthony Amenteplay missing out there. Time to move on to this first semi-final, which will be on the Sunwell Burnians versus St Kevin's. These two sides have met twice during the year, of course, and much closer results and margins. Melburnians got the first one in round 8 at the Junction Oval when they won by 14. St Kevin's managed to reverse that result to confirm their final status when they won by 6 points at TH King just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that's right, and I suppose St Kevin's will be looking to really improve their defence, which they are ranked 5th this year in, so the top 4 sides that are above them, top 3, that little bit better in the defence, so they'll try and improve that area of their game.
One of the interesting ones for me is the number of players used. I mean, obviously in amateur clubs we use a lot of players because players go overseas at various stages throughout the season or whatever it might be. St Kevin's have used 48 players this year and Melburnians 41. However, the players that have played more than 12 games, more than 15 games, sorry, as that stat shows on the screen there, only 7 for St Kevin's and 12 for Old Melburnians.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, it's been a bit of a tough year with injuries for St Kevin's. They've really struggled in that part where they were right up at the top of the ladder at the start and really had to use plenty of players getting towards the end of the season. I think that just shows depth in clubs, and they've still been able to perform despite having to use many players.
You've crunched the numbers. You better give us a tip for the 2 semi-finals. Who are you thinking?
Well, I think St Kevin's will get over Old Melburnians, and you can't back against Old Trinity. I think they'll go on and win it.
So a year after being relegated, Old Trinity to return to Premier Section. That's all we've got time for on Premier B, but while we have a look and get ready for Premier C, let's have a look at what happened this week in the VAFA.
Old Camberwell put a great tribute, making a banner for Jordan Heffernan on his 300th game. Only problem is you could be waiting quite some time for the person to run out through the banner. We'll get back to Jordan later. There's a lot of blood rules going on at the Oakley-Camberwell match. That's enough of that. Let's see if Jordan's ready to come out.
Crunched second semi-final between Mazenod and Marceline. These two sides have won one each this year, both winning at the other team's away venue. That round 1 match where Marceline got some retribution for that 1-point loss they had in the knockout semi-final last year to Mazenod. Both these teams have managed to go a little bit better this year, moved up to 1 and 2 respectively on the ladder, and the prize is huge here. Obviously a place in the grand final, but promotion back to Premier B. Some of the key stats, looking at those now, Mazenod against the top 4, 5 and 1. They're going beautifully against the other sides in finals.
That's correct, and obviously the round 1 loss being that only loss, so the last 17 rounds they haven't lost to any of the top 4 sides, which on form, yeah, that's great.
Anything else, the key takeaways from those numbers there between these two sides this year?
Both of them, their winning margins, when they win, they really do kick away 8 to 10 goals. Good wins. When they lose, they don't get blown away, always within 2 to 3 goals of the opposition, which is quite an impressive stat to hold over 18 rounds.
Time to move on to the first semi-final now. Let's have a quick look at that. Old Ivanhoe and Monash Blues, also at Casey Fields. This one's on the Sunday.
Yeah, definitely. These two sides obviously very close in form, 3rd and 4th best defence in the competition, whereas the Monash Blues, their attacking hasn't been as great as most teams in the top 4, which could turn out to be one of the coming up against the 3rd best defence, arguably a better defence than what the Monash have. It'll be interesting to see the attack versus defence.
So we better get a tip. Who's going to win these 2 semi-finals?
Well, Old Ivanhoe for me in the first semi. And in the second semi, I think a lot of people might think that Mazenod might run away with it, but I think it'll be a lot closer. Still going Mazenod, but in a close one.
Yeah, same for me. Old Ivanhoe and Mazenod in the 2 semi-finals in Premier C. Right, earlier in the week we went to the umpires pre-finals dinner where all the umpires, the VAFA umpires, the VAFA UA, celebrate their season to date and continued success of that umpiring group. What do you think of the dinner?
Well, I suppose your opinion of the umpires, they're a bit more laid back and like to let their hair down, that's for sure.
Australian rules before, and regard myself as fortunate to have found a safe and supportive competition in the VAFA.
9 short years ago, I decided to join to make a comeback in umpiring to join the VAFA. I remember walking outside out of home my first training session, promising my wife that I'd be out for 2 or 3 years, and that'd be maybe walk away with a grand final or 2, and that might be the end of my career. 9 years later, I stand here, and I stand here as a very proud life member of this wonderful association.
Kid Harvey trains every night. I didn't realise till I think earlier on this year that he actually relies on public transport to not just to get to training but also to his games.
Incredibly wrapped. I mean, I went from playing footy to umpiring footy. I thought that I'd gone to the dark side. Wasn't sure how I'd go, and yeah, it's turned out pretty well. I love the game of footy. I used to play. Umpiring is a beautiful way to stay involved with the game, and just it's wonderful to. It's a form of fitness. You can keep fit umpiring, make great friends. But I think the best thing about umpiring is that sense of mateship and camaraderie that you have with your other umpires. It's
a great competition to be involved with. It's a magnificent association, and I'm very honoured to be a life member. Congratulations.
What would you be doing on a Saturday afternoon if you weren't donning the green as it is now with the VAFA umpiring?
Yeah, look, I'd probably bring the kids to the football. So, yeah, look, I mean, I guess this is a second career for me in terms of umpiring. I had 10 plus years at the VFL, and now I've had 9 at the amateurs, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I've loved it.
Very good. Finally, can you give us a bit of an all clear down the barrel?
All clear, Andrew!
Time now to take a look at Division 1. The first of the 2 semi-finals to look at is the second semi-final we'll have a look at, and it's a Trevor Barker Oval on Saturday. Hampton Rovers and Williamstown.
So these two sides also
have split their meetings this year. It's an incredible situation. That's the turnaround, 128-point turnaround.
That's exactly right. 21 goals. It's a big turnaround, and surely the confidence that Williamstown have gained out of that is unbelievable, and you've seen with their run home since that game has been quite impressive.
Ormond take on Perand Assumption in the first semi-final, also at Trevor Barker. That game's being played on the Sunday.
Yeah, Ormond in the first game in round 8, 53 points over the again. Quite an impressive win, but Perand Assumption once again have turned it around and evened the ledger in round 17, which some would argue might be the more important game.
Quick tip, I imagine you're going for Rovers against Willie?
Yes, but once again I think it'll be a lot closer than what people think.
You just like a bit of a fence. I can see that you're a bit of a fence sitter.
Yes, I don't want to give away too many tips. And of course I think Ormond will get over Perand quite comfortably.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. And the prospect of an Ormond Hampton Rovers grand final awaits us possibly, and I'm sure all the locals of those 2 suburbs and those community clubs would love to see that. In Division 2, Derry Penola have been flying high all season. They've done a beautiful job to take out the minor premiership. Looking at the past meetings between Yarra Valley, of course, are no slouches either. They've just stormed home and finished off beautifully to take second spot and get the double chance. Old Eltham versus St Mary's Salesians, the other first semi-final, also at the Bill Laurie Oval, this time on the Sunday afternoon. The Saints have won both of these 2 meetings against the Turtles, 31 at Ferndale Park in round 9 and 12 by 12 points at Eltham College just a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, well, obviously these 2 teams are very close together, only one percentage separating the 2 on the ladder. So I suppose going off recent form, you'd have to go with St Mary's. Having beaten Eltham, the Turtles, twice this season now, it must be weighing on the Turtles' mind.
We should remind you, this year we'll be having the Woodrow Medal Night. It'll be taking place at Crown's River Room, very illustrious surrounds of Crown's River Room, where we'll be counting the full 18 rounds of the Woodrow Medal and of course presenting the medal winners of all of the other sections. If you want to catch the vote counts for all of the other sections, they will be live and exclusive on 96.5 Inner FM next Tuesday and Wednesday night commencing at 8 o'clock. In Division 3 we have 3 finals with a final 6. The first qualifying final is Kew and Aquinas, 2 meetings this year, both victories to the Bears, whilst the second qualifying final it's UHS VU against Richmond Central with UHSVU getting the points over Richmond Central earlier in their only meeting. In the third qualifying final, it's Elston and St Francis Xavier, and they've split those 2 games there. Quick tip there from that game.
Yeah, in round 5, I was here to watch that match at Elstonwick Park at Sports Cover Arena, and I can't go past Elstonwick there. They were by far the better team.
Right, let's have a quick look at Division 4. Hawthorn taking on Northern Blues. Do you think Hawthorn will lose this game?
Well, you would think that they've probably been easing into the last couple of rounds, and you'd think they'll run away with this.
I think that's my absolute certainty of the round. Hawthorn to beat Northern Blues in that first qualifying final. Second qualifying final is Ely Park Sharks and North Brunswick. That'll be at Scammell Reserve on Saturday. Ely Park have done really well to finish second after playing a preliminary final and losing last year. North Brunswick have finished off the season really well to finish off 5th. Who's your tip in this one?
Definitely going with Ely Park. I think they're a stronger team all year.
And the final qualifying final in Division 4 for a chance to go through to the prelim final next week. West Brunswick versus Point Cook. It's 3rd versus 4th. Didn't really matter the order that these two finished in, other than the fact that the 4th side will be wearing the white shorts. That's at Garvey Oval on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I think once again it's going to be a very close game. 2 very even sides all year. But I've got a bit of a soft spot for Point Cook. I think Point Cook might be winners.
I think it might be West Brunswick in that one. That's all we've got time for on the VAFA, the VAFA TV pre-finals show or finals show, whatever it is. We hope you've enjoyed it. We hope you can join us again next week. Braden Carey, thanks for your time.
No worries. Thanks, Andrew.
We'll see you again next week.